Hello, everybody. Welcome to Gawalpop. I am Maite Garcia, and today we have an interview with the Canadian cinematographer Chelsea Comeau. Welcome, Chelsea. Thank you for connecting with us.
Thanks for
She's
having
going to,
me.
she's going to tell us about her experience in the film industry. So, Chelsea, what motivated you to start doing cinematography?
Well, this goes way back. When I was a kid, Pirates of the Caribbean came out, right? And
Mhm.
I remember going and watching the film and realizing like this is something amazing that I want to do eventually like down the road. So I remember buying the DVD and watching the behind the scenes and watching how they made it, everything about it. Um, and then I remember telling my parents like I want to do this. I think I was like 11 or 12 years old. I was like I want to make films. I want to go into
Okay.
that industry. So they were like, okay, sure. But then when I got into high school, I was like way more serious about it. I was like, I really want to do this. So they were like, sure, like we'll put you in a school. So originally I was like, I want to be a director. That's like the only thing I want to do. But film is so broad and you can do so many things in film. So when I went to film school, I realized like cinematography is such a beautiful art form. And that's when I realized like I want to do cinematography as well as direct and stuff. So cinematography is definitely something I do the most, and it's something I love to do. I love framing a shot and getting something really pretty.
Okay, nice. That was your first option of career always.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
Oh.
I remember like before that my everyone would ask me like what do you want to do as a kid, and I'd be like I don't know. And then after seeing Pirates of the Caribbean, I was like that's what I want to do. I want to go into film. I want to, you know, make art.
Oh, nice. And apart from the film, The Last Divide, did you work in other projects or are you working in some, maybe before the outbreak?
Yeah. So before doing The Last Divide, I had shot two feature films. So I did a film called Afraid to Speak, and that one was about a man with depression. And instead of us seeing what the man was going through, we saw what he was seeing. So in his mind, he was seeing another person as depression. And I thought that story was so like anyone could connect to it if they've gone through it, you know. So I shot that film. I did another film after that called You Ruined Our Life, which was a comedy about a man waking up one day and his younger self was there with him. So it's like his younger self traveled to the future with him, and he didn't know what to do. So it was a good comedy. I really enjoyed filming that one. And then after The Last Divide, I did a film called Shadow in the Mirror, and that one is more of like a thriller drama film about like this house that is kind of like it's not enchanted, but it has like a dark aura to it, and this lady goes to investigate um, do some research and finds out that like this house has so much history to it. So I shot that film. And then this year I was supposed to shoot another film, but with the pandemic happening and everything kind of got pushed. So this year was kind of put on
Yeah,
hold.
here. Yeah, here as well. All the film industry is like in standby for the moment
Yeah,
until
same
all
here.
have. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how was your experience of directing a film for the first time?
Yeah, I directed my first feature back in 2018. So it's called Creepy Crawling. You can find the trailer online under Winterlight Productions, I believe. And yeah, directing my first feature, it was what I expected and not what I expected. Because I did so much work as a cinematographer beforehand, you kind of like get to know directing more as well because you're working firsthand with the directors and all that. So yeah, directing my first feature was pretty amazing. I had an amazing cast and crew. Um, they made the film like even better. So yeah, it was just so surreal.
Oh, nice! Congratulations.
Thank you.
But how is being affected the cinematography industry in Canada?
Yeah, well, right now,
Because
nothing is happening, right? So everyone is on standby, and that, like, from my own experience right now, like, I was supposed to be filming back in maybe April, and we're only starting to film next week, right? We're going to be June 18th by the time I get on the road to go film. So it's been affected pretty heavily because well, for me, it's gonna switch everything to next year, so it kind of like pushes everything back a bit. You know what I mean?
yes.
So it's a bit difficult at the moment. And I wish. Yeah.
So all the production that you were doing before the break is like going to happen the next year.
Yeah, pretty much.
But even at finals of this year.
Well, I have there's 2 TV shows that I'm going to be filming this year. A third one I'm not sure if I'll be filming, but the television shows I film are happening this year. But there's a program called Cinema 902 that goes through Winterlight Productions, and we do it for our local television network here in Nova Scotia. And basically, it's 4 films that we make and produce for them, and all of those were supposed to happen this year, and now they're probably pushed until next year from what I gather.
Wow, okay. Yeah. And about your experience of meeting the Walking Dead characters, tell us about that. How was that?
Oh man, it was so much fun. So the funny story about all this is I never watched the show until season 6. Season 6 is when I came into The Walking Dead, and I remember saying, I'm not watching it. At the time I didn't like horror. Like, I hated horror movies, I hated horror TV, I was like not into it. Now I'm different. I really actually enjoy it. I actually really enjoy the cinematography of horror, but I was like, I'm not watching it. And then I happened to watch 2 episodes back to back of The Walking Dead, and I was like, I have to go back and watch the whole thing. So I watched it all, and then I was like, I have to meet these actors because they portrayed like amazing characters on this TV series. Yeah. So I like immediately booked a trip to Atlanta after finding out that The Walking Dead had a convention, and I went and I met like a bunch of the actors, and they're all so sweet. I was gonna go back this year, but with everything happening, I'm definitely not going to Georgia this year.
Oh, are going to be other conventions of The Walking Dead? It's like...
Yeah, so like the main...
Like common?
Yeah, there used to be like a convention called Walker Stalker Con, but there's a lot of stuff about them that it just went away. They just went down. So another convention called Pandemic Dead picked up The Walking Dead to have it in Atlanta, Georgia, because that's where they film. They film everything in Atlanta. So they were supposed to do it this year. It was the first time under that convention, but with everything happening, I even have my ticket, but I don't think I'm gonna go.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, there's too much happening.
You're a really big fan.
I've gone 3 times. I've gone to this convention 3 times. This would have been my 4th time going to meet the cast. I'm a big fan.
Oh, nice. And I didn't know that they have that type of conventions.
Yeah, they used to have them all around the United States, but with that convention no longer a thing, I think they only have it in 2 places now, but I'm sure people will find a way to bring them everywhere.
Yeah. Who is your favorite character of this Amazon show?
100%, it's Carol. Carol's whole story from start to end, well, to the current season, is so well done and so well thought out. Like the writers of the show really took that character and said, we're gonna make something great with her. Because you start out with like a someone who's an abuse victim, basically, and now she's just such a strong person, and she takes things into her own hands, and she defends the group, and she's just my favorite character. And Melissa McBride is my favorite actor of the show. She's just so amazing in what she does.
Yeah, I admire her courage, right? Her decision making. Oh my God, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I like her character, yes.
Yeah, is that your favorite character?
Yeah. No, I think my favorite character is Rick Grimes.
He was so good.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm excited for the movies to see what they're going to do with the movies.
They are going to make a movie, something like that?
Or... Yeah. I've heard rumors that it was supposed to come out this year, but I don't even think they started filming it. But rumor has it they're going to make 3 movies maybe, and Michonne is going to go over into the movies, so I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah. Do you have a special movie or series that you admire the work on it?
Yeah. Of course, The Walking Dead. I've watched the show so many times. Like, I've literally watched the series from start to finish 11 times or more. I don't even know now. I've watched it so many times. So after watching it after like 3 times, you can start to really watch for like the camera work or like what an actor is doing instead of like focusing on the story. So I basically like study The Walking Dead for like how they shoot it and stuff. One of my favorite shots they've ever done, it's in season 5. Can't remember the episode, but there's a shot when Carol and Daryl are in a shelter in Atlanta. She lays down on the bed and it's nighttime, and in the same shot they turn the lights to make it daytime, and I think that's such a cool little shot. It's just so interesting. So yeah, I love The Walking Dead. Is definitely something that I admire and I watch. Of course, Pirates of the Caribbean. It's back. It's like my first film that got me into it. I love Pirates of the Caribbean. I've watched that a million times too. And just like I find like right now horror movies have really good cinematography for me, and I just like studying that stuff. So like that kind of stuff, all kinds of stuff.
Okay. Do you have a cinematographer idol that you admire?
Yeah, I would say like we're going back to Pirates. Darius Wolski. I really enjoy his work. He did Sweeney Todd back in the day, and that was the first horror film that I watched, and I was like, I think I like this, because I'm not a horror fan. I wasn't a horror fan back then. So I remember watching that and like looking at the cinematography and stuff and being like, you know what, I think I like this. So like his work, I definitely admire. And this year I watched the film 1917. It is so good. And Roger Deakins was the director of photography on that one. And it's basically a one take. It's one shot from start to end. And the things he did to make it a one shot, it was insane. I watched them behind the scenes, and they have like the camera on this vehicle going through trenches, right? So the camera goes through the trenches on a crane, and then men pick it up and put it on a vehicle so that people can run as the camera's going back. Like it's just magical. So I definitely admire him for that work. Like it's insane what he did.
Yeah, some works seems like amazing, like something unreal, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. Tell us a little about your hobbies. We took a look on your YouTube channel, and let me tell you how great seemed to me the songs that you took. You did several covers that sounds really nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How did you learn to play the piano?
So my whole family is basically a big musical family. Anytime we had like house parties, they'd take out their guitars and have a piano. They'd magically get a piano somewhere and they'd start to play music. Mm-hmm. And so music has always been in my family, and in me, I guess. So I started playing when I was young. Like I took lessons. I took lessons for 8 years, around there, give or take some years. And then after high school, I decided to be serious about my music channel. So I've been playing roughly for about 18 years in general. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's been a while, but I still can't read music. I'm horrible at reading music. I can like see a note and know what it is, but for me to sit there and read sheet music, I can't read sheet music. It doesn't process. So what I do is I listen to a song and I play the song by listening to it. So yeah, about I think it was like 5 years ago, I got like really serious about my YouTube channel and my music, and I just like started uploading weekly, and I upload songs that I love, that I like listening to. My channel is made up of TV, games, and movie scores, and that's all I do because that's what I listen to every day. It goes back to Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean introduced me to cinema, and it introduced me to Hans Zimmer, who is one of the best composers, in my opinion, ever. He's my favorite composer. He always will be. And hearing the music from Pirates of the Caribbean just opened me up to like that genre of music. So that's what my channel focuses on, is like that kind of music.
Okay, yeah, your YouTube channel is really great. That's like your personal project.
Yeah.
Do you have some personal project about cinematography?
So like I said, this year we were supposed to be shooting a few films. So I believe that's being pushed to next year. So next year, the projects I will be working on is a TV series in the summer. So I'll be the cinematographer on that. It's going to be like a 2 to 3 month process of getting, this TV series off the ground. So I'm excited for that. I believe I'll be working on a feature film. Fingers crossed that happens. And I'll be hopefully directing another feature film next year.
Okay. Are you thinking about doing a master or studying something else? Maybe about film industry?
I don't think at this point in my life I want to do anything else, I guess. I'm pretty comfortable with where I am and what I do. And honestly, I think film for me right now is something to learn on sets. You know what I mean? Like you learn everything doing the job. So to do a master's or something in film isn't something I want to do right now. Maybe later. So for me, I find that film is something learned on sets, like especially now after I've done the whole college thing for film and everything. I find I learn a lot more on set or doing it. You know what I mean? So for me to go back to school, it's not really something I would consider at this point in my career.
Yes, in the practice you can learn more than the theory, theory.
Yeah, because like cinematography, in the schooling I went to, we had a teacher for cinematography, but he talked to us on how to do cinematography. He didn't really show us how to do it. So I basically learned by doing it myself, like going out, studying like films, studying television, learning how to frame it, learning how to do it. I kind of like did it by going on to sets and doing it myself in that way.
Yeah, I think learning by practice is the best way.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Thank you so much, Chelsea, for this interview.
Thank you for having me.
And how can we find you on social networks?
Well, I believe you could just type in Chelsea Comeau on Instagram or Twitter. There might be a period or a dash in there somewhere, but you can find me that way. And on YouTube, you can find me at Chelsea Comeau, or type in YouTube/Chelsea Comeau Music.
Okay, cool. And guys, you know that you can find us at Gawalpop in all our social networks. Thank you so much, Chelsea, for this interview.
Thank you.